Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Picture this, a broke 20-something with exactly $0 in his pocket, 0 connections in his contacts, and a fire in his belly that could light up a city. He looks like he's been dragged through a hedge backward, because, well, he basically has. This guy just rode hundreds of miles in a first-class train compartment sipping champagne, but stuffed inside a freight car like a piece of cargo. And where's he going? Oh, nowhere special. Just to the laboratory of the world's most legendary inventor, Thomas A. Edison. No big deal. So he rolls up, dusty and determined, and here's what he doesn't say. "Hey, Mr. Edison, got any jobs?" Nope. He walks in and announces, get this, that he's come to go into business with Edison, as in partners, equals, dream team. Now, imagine Edison's face. This guy's seen everything. 1,000 failed light bulb experiments, countless wannabes, every flavor of desperate. And yet, looking at this disheveled kid standing in his lab, he sees something. He'd later say, he stood there looking like an ordinary tramp, but there was something in the expression of his face which conveyed the impression that he was determined to get what he had come after. Edison didn't see the dirt on his clothes. He saw the diamond in his mind. He saw desire, pure, unshakable, burning desire. That gutsy young man, Edwin C. Barnes, and his story. It's the perfect launchpad for our journey today because it contains the DNA of one of the most explosive books ever written about success. Hello, and welcome to the show. Today, we're diving headfirst into the book that's been called the godfather. No, the grandfather of all personal development literature. A book that's sold tens of millions of copies since 1937 and has created more millionaires than Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Vegas combined. I'm talking about Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But hold up. This isn't your typical get-rich-quick scheme wrapped in fancy words. Hill himself made it crystal clear. Riches can't always be measured in dollar bills. This is a philosophy for achievement, period. Whether you want to build an empire, master a craft, change the world, or just finally finish writing that novel you've been thinking about for a decade, this book is your blueprint for turning those dreams from fuzzy wishes into hard reality. And the backstory? Oh, it's as wild as the wisdom inside. Napoleon Hill was born dirt poor in a one-room cabin in Virginia. As a young, hungry reporter, he scored the interview of a lifetime with the richest human on planet Earth at the time, steel titan Andrew Carnegie. What was supposed to be a quick chat turned into a 3-day marathon conversation. Like, imagine your Zoom meeting that won't end, but in a good way. At the end of those 3 days, Carnegie dropped a life-altering challenge on Hill. What if you spent the next 20 years, without pay, by the way, studying America's most successful people to crack the code on success? To find a formula that any average person could use? And Hill, this crazy kid, said yes in under 60 seconds, didn't even sleep on it. So began a 2-decade odyssey. Hill interviewed over 500 of the wealthiest, most powerful minds of his era. Legends like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, John D. Rockefeller. What Carnegie believed, what Hill discovered, was that success wasn't random luck or good genes. It followed laws. Invisible but ironclad laws that anyone could learn and apply. Today, I'm about to hand you the keys to that philosophy. By the time we're done here, you'll understand the secret that Carnegie whispered to Hill all those years ago. A secret that can turn you into the master of your own destiny and the captain of your own soul. Buckle up. Book Summary. Chapter 1. The Starting Point of All Achievement. Desire. Let's start with the big one. The foundation, the secret ingredient, desire. Not the, that would be nice kind of desire. I'm talking about the obsessive, white-hot, I'll walk through fire for this kind of burning desire. The kind that wakes you up at 3 a.m. with ideas buzzing in your brain like caffeinated bees. Hill says that every achievement, every fortune, every incredible comeback story starts here, with a thought, a desire crystallized into a definite purpose. Think about it. Every single thing you see around you, from the phone in your hand to the chair you're sitting on, started as an invisible thought in someone's mind. Mind-blowing, right? Edwin C. Barnes didn't just hope to work with Edison. He decided he would be his business partner. There's a massive difference. A decision cuts off all other possibilities. It burns the boats. When Barnes finally got his shot, and it took years of sweeping floors and doing grunt work, he seized it like his life depended on it, which, in a way, it did. Hill breaks it down into 6 concrete steps to turn desire into gold. 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire or the exact thing you want. Don't be vague. I want to be successful means nothing. I want to earn $100,000 by December 31st means everything. 2. Determine exactly what you're willing to give in return. There's no such thing as something for nothing. What will you sacrifice? What will you create? What value will you deliver? 3. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess this thing. Deadlines have power. They transform wishes into commitments. 4. Create a definite plan and begin immediately. Don't wait for perfect. Start before you feel ready. Plans improve as you go. 5. Write it all down. Your goal, your deadline, what you'll give, your plan, everything. Make it concrete. Make it real. 6. Read your statement aloud, twice a day, morning and night. See yourself already in possession of it. Feel it. Believe it with every cell in your body. This isn't positive thinking fluff. This is programming your subconscious mind like a supercomputer. Your subconscious doesn't argue or doubt. It just works to bring you whatever you feed it most consistently. Chapter 2, Faith, Visualization, and Belief. Okay, so you've got your burning desire. Now what? You need its best friend, faith. Faith is that deep down, bone-level certainty that what you want is already on its way to you. Not hope. Not fingers crossed, maybe. Knowing. Hill drops this bomb. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith mixes with thought, the subconscious mind picks up the vibration and translates it into its spiritual equivalent. Whoa, heavy stuff. But here's the catch. You can't fake it. You can't just say, I believe, while your inner voice screams, yeah, right, who am I kidding? So how do you build real faith? Autosuggestion. This is your secret weapon. It's the process of feeding your subconscious mind through repeated thoughts and emotions. Every day, you read your definite purpose statement from Chapter 1 out loud, with feeling. You close your eyes and see yourself already successful. You feel the joy, the pride, the satisfaction. You make it vivid. You make it emotional. Over time, and yes, it takes time, your subconscious accepts this as truth and starts working 24/7 to make it reality. Your thoughts literally become things. Sounds wild, but Hill shows story after story of people who did exactly this and changed their entire lives. Hill's own son was born without ears. Doctors said he'd never hear, but Hill refused to accept it. He used autosuggestion, repeatedly telling his son that he would hear, that he'd turn his affliction into his greatest asset. And you know what? His son eventually developed a way to hear and built an incredible life. The power of relentless faith in action. Chapter 3. Autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Let's go deeper on this because it's crucial. Autosuggestion is the bridge between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is logical, rational, questioning. Your subconscious mind? It doesn't judge, it just accepts and acts on whatever you plant there, most consistently. Most people spend their lives accidentally programming their subconscious with doubt, fear, and negativity. I'm not good enough. I'll never get ahead. People like me don't succeed. Then they wonder why life keeps proving them right. Hill says you've got to take control. You've got to deliberately, systematically feed your subconscious mind the thoughts, images, and beliefs you want to manifest. Here's the key. Just reading words isn't enough. You need emotion. Your subconscious only responds to thoughts that are supercharged with feeling. So when you read your written statement, you can't just mumble it like a grocery list. You have to feel it. Get excited. Get passionate. Let yourself experience, right now, the feelings of already having achieved your goal. Do this morning and night, every single day, without fail, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Consistency creates miracles. Chapter 4. Specialized knowledge. Here's a truth bomb that'll mess with your head. Knowledge is not power. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard right. Knowledge is potential power. It only becomes actual power when it's organized and intelligently directed toward a definite purpose. Think about it. Libraries are stuffed with knowledge. The internet has practically infinite information at your fingertips. But does that make everyone successful? Nope. Because most people don't apply what they know. Hill says you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need access to specialized knowledge for your specific goal. And here's the kicker. You can acquire that knowledge through a mastermind group, more on that soon, or by hiring experts. Henry Ford proved this beautifully. Some lawyer tried to embarrass him in court, firing off question after question to show Ford was ignorant. Ford finally snapped back. I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk. By pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid anyone who can answer any question I desire to ask. Why should I clutter up my mind with general knowledge when I have people around me who can supply any knowledge I require? Boom. Ford understood. He didn't need to know everything. He just needed to know WHO to ask. That's specialized knowledge in action. Your job? Identify exactly what knowledge you need for your goal. Then acquire it through books, courses, mentors, or by surrounding yourself with people who have it. Keep learning. Keep growing. But never confuse collecting knowledge with taking action. Chapter 5. Imagination. This is where things get magical. Your imagination is the workshop where all your plans are created. It's the laboratory where thought transforms into reality. Hill identifies two types of imagination. Synthetic imagination. This takes existing ideas, concepts, and plans and rearranges them into new combinations. Think of it like Lego blocks. You're not inventing new pieces, but you're building something original. Creative imagination. This is where true genius lives. It's the hunch, the inspiration, the sudden flash of insight that comes seemingly out of nowhere. This is where new ideas are born. Both are essential. Most practical innovations come from synthetic imagination, taking what exists and improving it, combining it, adapting it. But the truly revolutionary breakthroughs? They come from creative imagination, the kind that Edison tapped into when inventing the light bulb, or Ford when he imagined the assembly line. Here's the exciting part. The more you use your imagination deliberately, the stronger it gets. It's a muscle. You can develop it. Spend time daily imagining your ideal outcome in vivid detail. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. Make it a movie in your mind where you're the star. This isn't daydreaming. It's rehearsal. You're training your mind to recognize and create the circumstances that match your vision. Chapter 6. Organized Planning. Dreams are beautiful, but without a plan, they stay dreams. This chapter is about turning your burning desire into a step-by-step blueprint. Hill lays out the process. First, ally yourself with a group of people you need to help you execute your plan. That mastermind group again. It's coming. Second, before forming your alliance, decide what benefits you're offering each person in exchange for their cooperation. Nobody works for free and nobody should. Third, arrange to meet with your group at least twice a week until you've perfected your plan. Fourth, maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member. If you can't, you're dead in the water. Now here's the part most people miss. Your first plan will probably fail. So will your second, maybe your 10th, and that's okay. Hill studied hundreds of successful people and found that most of them failed many times before they finally succeeded. The difference? They didn't quit. They just made a new plan and kept moving. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. When someone asked how it felt to fail so many times, he said, "I didn't fail 10,000 times. I successfully found 10,000 ways that didn't work." That's the mindset. Plan, act, learn, adjust, repeat. Never stop moving forward. Chapter 7. Decision. Want to know one of the biggest differences between people who succeed and people who don't? Speed of decision. Hill studied 25,000 people who'd experienced failure and found that lack of decision was near the top of the list of causes. Successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly, if at all. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them often. Why? Because indecision is a habit, and like any habit, it grows stronger the more you practice it. Think about the signing of the Declaration of Independence. 56 men put their names on that document, knowing they were essentially signing their own death warrants if the revolution failed. That's the level of commitment we're talking about. They decided, no backup plan, all in. You don't need to risk your life, but you do need to risk your comfort zone. Make a firm decision about what you want. Then commit to it. Stop waffling. Stop gathering endless information as an excuse to delay action. Decide and move. Hill warns, be careful who you listen to. Most people love to share their opinions, usually negative about your dreams. Ignore them. Keep your plans to yourself, or share them only with your mastermind group, people who are 100% supportive. Chapter 8. Persistence. This is where most people fall off the wagon. They start strong, hit a wall, and quit. Persistence is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. It's the quality that separates winners from wishful thinkers. Hill doesn't sugarcoat it. The majority of people are ready to throw their aims and purposes overboard and give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune. Ouch! But true. Building persistence is like building a muscle. It starts with 4 simple steps. 1. A definite purpose backed by burning desire. See? It all connects. 2. A definite plan, expressed in continuous action. 3. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. 4. a friendly alliance mastermind group encouraging you to follow through. Hill lists the symptoms of lack of persistence, and it's basically a highlight reel of excuses. I don't have time. I'm afraid of what people will think. I tried once and it didn't work. Sound familiar? The cure? Willpower. Persistence is a state of mind that can be cultivated. It comes from definiteness of purpose, desire, self-reliance, definiteness of plans, accurate knowledge, cooperation, willpower, and habit. Here's a powerful truth. Fear of criticism kills more dreams than failure ever could. Don't let the opinions of scared people stop you. As Hill says, tell the world what you intend to do, but show it first. Chapter 9. Power of the Mastermind. Finally, the mastermind. This might be the most powerful concept in the entire book. Here's Hill's definition: coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Sounds simple, but there are two elements that make it extraordinary. Economic. When minds come together, each person gains access to the knowledge, experience, and influence of the others. You're essentially multiplying your brain power. Psychic. Here's where it gets mystical. Hill claims, and Carnegie confirmed, that when two or more minds work together in perfect harmony, they create a third, invisible force, a mastermind that's greater than the sum of its parts. It's like mental alchemy. Every great achievement in history involved a mastermind. Carnegie had a team of 50 men. Ford had Edison, Firestone, Burbank, and others. Gandhi united millions of minds toward a single purpose. You don't need 50 people. Even a group of 2 or 3, meeting regularly, with a definite purpose and perfect harmony, can generate incredible power. Who's in your mastermind? Choose wisely. These should be people who believe in you, challenge you, support you, and share your hunger for growth. Chapter 10. The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. Okay, this chapter has a spicy title, but stick with me. It's not what you think. Hill observed that the most successful people had unusually high sex drives. But here's the key. They'd learned to channel that powerful energy toward creative and productive pursuits. The greatest artists, inventors, and leaders throughout history tapped into this force. They used that intense driving energy to fuel their work, their art, their missions. Hill's not saying to become celibate. He's saying to harness that energy, feel it, recognize it, then consciously redirect it toward your definite purpose. It's also why love and sex, when combined with the right partner, can multiply your creative output. A truly supportive, passionate romantic relationship creates a mastermind of its own. Two people inspiring and elevating each other to heights neither could reach alone. Chapter 11. The Subconscious Mind. Your subconscious mind is like a filing system. It records and stores every thought, every experience, every emotion. And it works 24/7, whether you're awake or asleep. The subconscious is the intermediary between your conscious mind and infinite intelligence, Hill's term for, well, God, the universe, the quantum field, whatever you want to call the creative force behind reality. You can't control your subconscious directly, but you can influence it through autosuggestion. Remember, those daily statements read with emotion. Here's what's critical. Your subconscious responds most powerfully to thoughts mixed with feeling. Positive emotions like faith, love, enthusiasm, desire, hope. These open the door. Negative emotions like fear, jealousy, hatred, anger. These poison the well. Hill warns, the subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate a thought driven by faith. So guard your thoughts like your life depends on it. Because in a very real sense, it does. Chapter 12. The Brain. This is where Hill gets a little out there, but bear with me because it's fascinating. Hill suggests that great ideas, sudden inspiration, hunches, these aren't just random neurons firing. They're transmissions from infinite intelligence, received by a brain that's been properly tuned through desire, faith, and persistence. Whether you buy the metaphysical angle or not, there's practical wisdom here. Surround yourself with people on your wavelength. Their thoughts will influence yours, and yours will influence theirs. Choose your company carefully. Chapter 13. The Sixth Sense. The sixth sense is that inexplicable knowing, that gut feeling, that voice that whispers yes or no when logic can't decide. Hill calls it the door to the temple of wisdom. It's developed through meditation, through regular contact with infinite intelligence, and through the other 12 principles working together. You can't force it. You can't fake it. But when you consistently apply desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, mastermind power, transmutation, and subconscious influence, the sixth sense emerges naturally. It's your direct link to infinite wisdom. Trust it. Chapter 14. The Six Ghosts of Fear. Time for the dark side. Hill identifies 6 basic fears that hold people back. 1. Fear of poverty. This is the granddaddy of them all. It destroys ambition, kills initiative, undermines imagination, and leads to indecision and doubt. 2. Fear of criticism. This is why people conform, why they don't pursue wild dreams, why they stay small and safe. 3. Fear of ill health. Hypochondria, anyone? This fear makes people sick by worrying about getting sick. Ironic, right? 4. Fear of loss of love. Jealousy lives here. So does possessiveness. This fear makes people needy and controlling. 5. Fear of old age. The fear of no longer being useful, attractive, or alive. It robs people of initiative and kills ambition in later years. 6. Fear of death. The ultimate fear. But Hill argues that death is nothing more than a transition. Those who accept this find incredible freedom. Here's the kicker. Most of these fears are imaginary. They exist only in your mind. The remedy? Face them, name them, shine a light on them. They shrivel in the presence of awareness and action. Hill ends with a warning about susceptibility to negative influences. Basically, stay away from toxic people, negative news, and fear-based thinking. Protect your mental space like it's Fort Knox. Commentary. As we come to the end of this wild ride through Think and Grow Rich, let's just pause and appreciate how profound this philosophy really is. This book was written in 1937, right when the world was crawling out of the Great Depression, when fear of poverty was like a zombie apocalypse haunting every household. Yet, somehow, Hill's message feels even more relevant today. In our modern world, drowning in distractions, where victim mentality gets more likes than personal responsibility, where everyone's an expert but nobody takes action, Hill's emphasis on self-reliance, definiteness of purpose, and mind control is basically a life raft in a sea of chaos. For me, the most earth-shattering lesson is this beautifully simple yet paradigm-smashing idea: your thoughts create your reality. Not someday, not metaphorically, literally. Your desires, when emotionally charged with faith and backed by relentless action, set into motion a series of events, both inside you and outside you, that lead to their fulfillment. You become what you think about most. Mind blown. What makes this book timeless isn't abstract theory, it's the stories. Real people, real struggles, real victories. Edwin C. Barnes, refusing to accept no from the world's greatest inventor. Hill's own son, overcoming what doctors said was impossible. These aren't fairy tales. They're blueprints showing that these principles work for anyone gutsy enough to apply them. The mastermind concept? Oh man, that's another game changer. In our age of toxic individualism and self-made mythology, Hill reminds us, nobody wins alone. True power comes from aligning with others in perfect harmony, creating a collective intelligence that's exponentially greater than the sum of its parts. It's the ultimate counter-narrative to the lone wolf genius fantasy. So how can you start applying this today, right now? Here are 3 ridiculously simple but devastatingly effective actions. First, grab paper. Seriously, right now, write down your definite chief aim. What's the one thing you desire more than anything? Be brutally specific. Put a date on it. Describe exactly what you'll give in return. This isn't journaling. It's activating a force of nature. Second, start your autosuggestion ritual tonight. Before sleep, read your statement aloud. Close your eyes. See yourself already living your goal. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the pride. Do it again when you wake up. 5 minutes, twice a day. This tiny ritual, done consistently, will literally rewire your brain for success. Third, assemble your mastermind. Who are the 1 or 2 people who genuinely support your ambitions? Not yes men, but real allies. Schedule a time to connect. Create a sacred space of mutual encouragement, accountability, and wild brainstorming. The energy you'll generate will blow your mind. In the end, Think and Grow Rich is a challenge, a gauntlet thrown at your feet. It challenges you to stop waiting for breaks and start creating them. It challenges you to take absolute, non-negotiable responsibility for your thoughts, because those thoughts will architect your entire life. It challenges you to conquer your fears, banish your alibis, and demand from life the riches you desire, knowing that if you have the desire, the faith, and the persistence, life has no choice but to deliver. That was a summary of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Look, we've covered the core ideas today, but I gotta be straight with you. A summary is just a map. The real treasure? That's found when you walk the path yourself. The true magic happens in those quiet moments of reading, when a particular story or a simple phrase connects with you in a way you didn't expect. When something clicks, and you suddenly see your whole life differently. This overview is designed to help you decide if this book deserves your time and attention. If anything we've discussed has sparked a fire in you, even a tiny ember, then grab yourself a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can genuinely reconstruct the entire architecture of your mind. A link to the book is in the description below. Also, if this summary gave you value and maybe shifted your perspective even a little, please take a moment to support the channel by smashing that like button and subscribing. That way, you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book from the billionaire's bookshelf. Let's keep learning and growing together. Let's keep pushing boundaries. Let's keep becoming the people we were meant to be. Now go out there and make Carnegie proud.